Rainy skies over Grand Cayman, but that won't stop us from diving the North Wall and finding all kinds of interesting wildlife in today's episode on the Divesaga channel. A few days ago, I arrived for a shoot in Grand Cayman. Grand Cayman is the largest of the Cayman Islands south of Cuba. I even had the opportunity to partake in what's commonly known as the world's most beautiful shore dive.
The grand plan was always to dive the USS Kittiwake wreck, a super cool shore dive to a wreck that has a super interesting history, but it didn't turn out that way, so this is what we get instead.
Generally, the Cayman Islands are known for their agreeable Caribbean weather and gentle conditions. Unfortunately, an unexpected storm started brewing and threw most of our planned episodes into chaos, including all and any shore dives such as the USS Kittiwake. Luckily, Cayman Turtle Divers was able to take us out for a rainy morning dive on Grand Cayman's North Wall. These aren't the conditions that most people want when visiting the Caribbean, but it is what it is, and if we're going to get wet anyway, we might as well have it our favorite way, by jumping in the ocean. Conditions were still calm enough for now to do some exploring on this world-famous dive site. What we didn't know was that this would be our second and unfortunately also last dive of our Cayman Islands adventure for now. So sit back and enjoy the ride. The cloud cover and rain make for moody light conditions, but the visibility is still amazing, as it often is in Grand Cayman. And good visibility is very welcome in this episode because it's helpful to show the scale of the famous North Wall, stretching from the easy and calm 15-foot 5-meter shallows all the way down to thousands of feet into the abyss. I need to put this on my tech diving bucket list. If we look at a map of Grand Cayman, the North Wall is clearly visible, running along the lagoon exit. If we zoom out, we see how Grand Cayman sits near the Cayman Trough, also known as the Cayman Trench, that cuts through much of the Caribbean. It is then no surprise that such spectacular wall diving can be found here.
I'm a big fan of wall diving because instead of just looking down and looking for stuff, you get to look down, but also up and left and right into the blue for life passing by.
For those who are willing to take it slow and glide leisurely along the wall, a variety of life can be found here, ranging from corals to sea sponges. In fact, for those who are keen to learn, we have a whole video about the secret life of sea sponges on this channel you can watch right after this video. A common mistake first-time divers make is rushing along a wall in one direction, turning around and diving back again. The experienced diver knows that this is not a run, it's a stroll in the park. Take it easy and look for details. This beautiful sea anemone, for instance, is just waiting to be photographed. Make sure to follow Divesaga on Instagram so you don't miss out on extra photos, videos, and behind the scenes. These walls and their inhabitants are very much similar to what I am used to at home in Utila, Honduras. But it's still nice to see a familiar reefscape in a different location. It's great fun looking for wildlife poking out of the crevices in the wall, like this spotted eel. Once on top of the wall, we are greeted by a small hawksbill sea turtle. Seeing a turtle during a dive in Grand Cayman is something of a must, since the turtle is often regarded as the symbol of the Cayman Islands. A turtle even appears on their national flag, their coat of arms, currency, and is the mascot of flag carrier Cayman Airways. It's especially nice when turtles are so unbothered by our presence. It really lends a chance to admire them closely. My golden rule is that when wildlife swims away, I don't chase it, as this is their cue that they are done and want to be left alone. So we don't put any further stress on them by overstaying our welcome. Whether you are used to wall diving or it's your first time staring into the abyss, you should definitely put the Grand Cayman North Wall on your scuba bucket list. Don't forget to back away from the wall to get a sense of scale as well. Seawalls are a unique type of topography that demands their massive scope to be appreciated from afar. Closer to the wall, I notice a lionfish in hiding. These fish are invasive. They are native to the South Pacific and Indian Ocean and really don't belong here, which is why they are often hunted in the Caribbean to contain their population. Their spines are venomous, and divers should beware not to get stung because the venom packs a punch. Then we all got what we were secretly hoping for. A Caribbean reef shark swims by. Sadly, this reef shark has a hook in its mouth with some lines still attached to it. This doesn't necessarily mean people were trying to catch the shark, but it is what happens when a shark jumps at fishing bait. The line may have been cut loose by the fisherman or simply snapped. Luckily, these hooks tend to rust over time and disappear, and sharks are pretty tough. But most shark species, including this one, are endangered species, so a hooked shark is of course not something we want to see. It is not unlikely to see these sharks along the Grand Cayman North Wall, but there are never guarantees on wildlife encounters. To non-divers and maybe some novice divers, the idea of being visited by a shark on the dive may sound like a scary situation, but most experienced divers will know that this is really a privilege and a moment to savor. Being able to spend some quality time with these magnificent creatures is always an honor. This shark is clearly taking its time and circling us quite a few times. We are hardly moving and just turning in place, taking a nice long single shot as it swims by. We may have been unlucky with the weather, but this relaxed shark encounter alone is worth the trip out here to the famous North Wall in Grand Cayman.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, you can always subscribe to the Divesaga channel. We have a new episode every 2 weeks. I will see you next time.